My dear friends and classmates, as the sun sets on the horizon, we sit here in celebration. Today marks a day in which we have not only graduated from high school, but also completed 13 years of hard-earned education. In those 13 years, we have learned so many things, some of which we never bothered to remember anyways, while others fascinated us and fueled our passions. We have faced personal struggles and experienced individual and collective triumph. We developed relationships with each other, with our teachers, with our staff, and many others in our surrounding communities. Some of us have developed these relationships since before we could walk. Others of us only formed them as recently as high school. As I made friends throughout my days in high school, it has been memorable to be with them, to be with you. I watched you grow. I watched you learn with me. We competed together. We talked together. We strengthened each other. We won together. And we lost together. As we sit here together for one last time, I am compelled to give you a few pieces of advice. As we go out into the world, we must be as courageous as we must be careful. The world is not always going to be the safe and stable environment we all grew up in. There are terrible things that go on in this world. Sometimes we can avoid them, and sometimes we cannot. We can do our best to prevent these hardships of life. But when they come, swear to me that you will endure them until the end. This is where you will need to persevere with everything you have. But sometimes persevering might not be the wisest option or the wisest choice we can make. It is up to you to decide, with everything you have and everything you know, what is the wisest course of action to take. To persevere and keep on going toward your goal, or to maybe turn around and do something different instead. But should you decide to go through and persevere, promise me that you will have never-ending perseverance, that you will keep going until the dream comes true, or until there's just no more possible way that you can make it come true. The world doesn't always give you what you want, and that is where your perseverance will come into play. When we face these hardships and these challenges, we will often feel like blaming something else when things do not go right. But before we do, let us look twice to see if we have been doing everything we can to solve the problems this world and this life puts before our eyes. Plus, sometimes the ones we blame are trying to help us. It saddens me to remember the times I turned down others, including my friends, because I falsely blamed them for things I went through. Sometimes you will be on the other end, being blamed for things that you did not do. As much as each and every person needs to do their part in making the world a better place, sometimes we must show forgiveness to those who did us wrong. If we can do this, sometimes even for the smallest of things, we will be set free and be at peace with one another again. We will reunite as a community, as we once again strengthen and support each other like never before. But forgiveness does not mean the absence of justice. It does not have to. Sometimes we need to have the right motives, as well as commit the right actions too. I cannot outline right and wrong for you. You will have to search for it yourself, if you have not already found it. Even when it is hard to know or to do what is right to the best of your ability. But should you know what is right, then do it, no matter how hard it gets. You will be surprised by the impact of the example you set to other people. As I say, time, there is never enough of it because it always runs out. So make the most of the time you have. Your time on this world is limited. So do the right thing. and be a light to the world. And now, before I come to the conclusion of my speech here, I would like to give you one last portion of advice. We are the future. And yes, as we go out into the world, we have much to offer. Much to offer to our community, much to offer to our society, to our nation, and to the world. And who knows, maybe even to the universe. But as much as we are the future, we cannot forget that we are also the present and in it at the same time. Whenever we being in the present, we must remember those who taught us, who nurtured us, and who raised us to become the good men and women that we are today as we stand. So, now, let me bid one last farewell, because I do not know if I will ever see you again. I wish I spent more time with you, but now here we are, at the dusk of our childhood. I don't know where we're going, but whatever happens, there is someone there to guide you. I hope to come to the end of my life one day and hear these words. Well done, my good and faithful one. Welcome to the place where you belong. Well done, my beloved child. You have run the race, and now you're home. Well done. That is all I have to say. Now let us raise our hats and tip our caps to our graduation. And in all sincerity and goodwill, may God be with you until we meet again. Thank you.